throwing fists. So I think he'll be back this year to fight Khabib.
Who do you think would win that?
I don't know, man. It's hard to be confident, and he's the most confident guy on the planet Earth. So I don't know. I don't know how he would stop Khabib from taking him down and eventually getting him to where he wants to fight. I would probably see Khabib winning, but his left hand is phenomenal, and you cannot take anything away from that thing.
Okay, that's it. Khabib, Conor, who wins?
It's going to be a tough fight for both people. There's a lot of pressure for one guy, and then I mean, Khabib's supposed to win because a guy like Conor new. It takes a long time to develop a formula to deal with somebody like George St. Pierre or Khabib. Yeah, there's a certain formula you have to use. You can't just lay on your back. You gotta turn over.
You can't just box him.
But you gotta know how to deal with, you know.
About Khabib and Conor.
Man, I think Conor would get him. I think Khabib runs in recklessly, and I think Conor would put one on his chin and put him out cold.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. I really think that. Yeah, honestly.
If I have to bet, if I have to bet,
I have to put the house on it.
If I have to put my house on it,
one of them.
The biggest one. If I have to put my house on it, I would have to choose Khabib over Conor. Khabib never lost. He never lost. And Conor have lost before. He have lost on the ground. He have a few losses, and he lost on the ground, where Khabib is good. That's where Khabib is the most competent as. However, Khabib sometimes has is a slow starter, and he get punched a lot.
Michael Johnson.
Yes, he didn't look good in the beginning of the fight, and he's hard sometimes to close distance. You have a problem to close the distance, but once he got you in the clinch, he's very good. So I believe the odds goes on Khabib's favor, like maybe 60-40. I believe Khabib has more chance to win that fight than Conor. Conor has one way to win the fight. It will be if you catch him on the way in, standing up. Khabib, I think, has more chance to win. He can win by submission on the ground. He can win by ground and pound. If he goes to decision, the chances are very likely that is Khabib that's gonna win. I see more ways to win from Khabib than I see from Conor.
Okay. What's your opinion on that fight? When you first heard it, where were we at on that?
When I heard it a while ago and the thing was going to happen, my money was on Khabib.
Yeah.
After Khabib's last performance against Al, I know Al's a good guy, a good fighter as well too.
Amazing fighter.
I just don't think his stand-up's there.
No,
I just don't.
I agree.
I feel like Conor's just got that left hand. He's fast. He's going to be able to use his angles, his crazy kicks,
his footwork.
And I've always underestimated the guy. And then
Conor,
yeah. Like Eddie Alvarez. Oh, Eddie Alvarez is going to run through.
I know.
Him.
I thought it was a terrible
Boom.
matchup for him.
Jose Aldo's going to beat him.
I know. I look at that. Yeah, I did the exact same thing before Khabib fought Al.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I do not want to see Conor fight Khabib. Yeah. This is gonna be a terrible matchup for him. And I watched that Al fight. I'm like, oh shit, he's human.
Khabib's slow, man.
And for me, the biggest red flag was his transitions from striking to grappling.
He shot without setting anything up.
And far away, I'm like, oh shit. Well, Al's a phenomenal fighter, but Conor's movement, is second to none. So he's not going to be there, and that leaves you open to whatever he wants to do with those angles. So it's a good fight.
When I look at that fight, I think Khabib kicks his ass. I've always thought Khabib would kick his ass. I always thought Khabib would just go take him down and beat him up. I'm then confronted with the evidence that Chad Mendes also took him down but failed to beat him up. I'm also confronted with the evidence that I thought Jose Aldo would go out there and expose Conor and beat him up. I'm confronted with the fact that I thought Eddie Alvarez was going to go out there and beat him up. But when you look at Conor, you are left with the question, just how good is he, right? I do agree when you look at it. Yeah, it looks like Khabib can keep up with his conditioning. Khabib can pressure him. Khabib can take him down, keep him there, beat him up. Because we've seen Khabib do those things to so many other great guys. But we've seen Chad Mendes do it as well, and Chad Mendes had a very, very hard time keeping Conor down, and I can't tell you why. Some of those guys are slippery down there. Some of those guys just know how to move their hips. Some of those guys know how to turn and adjust and scramble and get back to their feet. And I'm not sure we know the answer to the question of how good is Conor. I'll tell you right now, I think he's in over his head.
I think if Khabib does not correct the mistake of sitting back with his chin back and going to the side, Conor's going to put his lights out with that left hand pretty bad, pretty quickly. But Conor McGregor on his back, I don't feel like he has a look from the past, looking at everything. I don't feel like he has a strong spirit for fighting on the ground. So some guys have a real strong spirit. They can stand up all day for 5-10 rounds as long as they're standing up. But when it goes to the ground, their spirit weakens. So I don't think Conor has a strong enough spirit to be able to withstand Khabib's ground attack over and over and over and over. So I'd have to give the edge to Khabib.